traveling alone. Just you and your energy. 11 Russian-speaking men. One day, I'm gonna start wearing GoPro on my head and just record everything that happens in my life. $20 million villa. I knew that Ibiza is a magical place, but I just didn't know it is that good. Where are you getting money? Are you an escort? Meow. When I came to Spain and I saw people party, I thought to myself, what the fuck? All day, all night. If you've never traveled alone, you haven't met yourself fully yet. Hi, your fucking ray of sunshine is here. Yep, you heard me right. From all the self-growth tools that I experienced over the years, the best one and the most fun one is traveling. Traveling in general expands your vision of the world because you travel to new places, you experience new cultures, you meet people, you build new neurological pathways in your brain because you are literally doing things that you haven't done before. You are walking on the streets that you haven't walked on before. You're tasting the flavors that you haven't tasted before and so on. But there is another level to that experience that are not so many people are brave enough to dive into, which is traveling alone. Solo, no friends, no family, no loved ones, just you and your energy. I've been doing that for the past 3 years, and honestly, it's a life-changing experience. I was forced to start traveling, not because I wanted to experience it. I basically had no one to travel with, and I had a bunch of destinations on my list that were dream destinations, the locations that I wanted to visit. And at some point, I realized that it's not very smart sitting around and waiting for the right people and the right moment to appear in my life so I can finally go to the place that I've been dreaming about. I had no boyfriend to travel with. My family doesn't travel anywhere. They live in Russia. My girlfriends, it's one of the 3 situations basically. They either have a husband or a boyfriend and don't really travel without them. They have a kid and forget about it. That girl is not going anywhere for the next, 5, 6, 10 years. Or she doesn't have any money to travel. In my case, I was forced to wake up to the fact that the only thing that is stopping me from making my dream come true is this limiting belief that we shouldn't travel by ourselves. And in December 2022, I decided to break that pattern and travel around the world by myself for the first time. I mean, I came to the US in 2011 by myself for the first time, but it was more of a designed program with a job and traveling after. So I don't really consider this solo traveling, but it was in a way, which by the way changed me dramatically and led to me moving to the States a year later. Anyways, coming back to December 2022, when I decided to finally start traveling by myself, my life really changed. And ever since, every year, a couple times a year, I've been traveling by myself. And I absolutely love it. And I really think that every human being on this planet should test it out at least once to see what happens. In 2022, I went by myself to Israel, Dubai, and Bali. Then I traveled by myself to Paris, Rome, and Barcelona. And this year, I went to Ibiza, Lisbon, and London. All by myself. Every solo trip has been like a ceremony for me. It is such a beautiful experience where you are placed in the container of your own energy and you flow with yourself in the way that is most authentic to the current version of you. Let's take a step back and I'll explain. As you already know, everything that happens in your daily life is a direct reflection of what you believe in. If you believe that all men are assholes, you're gonna continuously meet men that will prove to you that they are assholes. This is the rule that you have in your brain, and your consciousness will actively find the proof points in your reality. Or if you believe that it is very hard to make money, guess what? You will be struggling and working really, really hard every single time to make money. Here's what happens when you go travel by yourself. You are out of your comfort zone. You are in a new, unknown environment. You are in a new physical place. And you are fully immersed in your own energy because there is no one traveling with you. So everything that happens to you on your solo trip is a direct reflection of what's in your head. And this is where it gets really interesting. If you don't want to do therapy, if you don't want to drink ayahuasca, if you don't want to do any spiritual practice, just go travel by yourself. And you will learn so much. Of course, if you are being present and conscious and observing what's happening, I guarantee you're going to learn so much about yourself, more than you'll learn about yourself in 1 year of therapy. It's a great checkpoint where you are in your self-development journey, where you are in your life. Are you happy with the events that are unfolding on your trip? Are they positive? Or everything is just falling apart and you experience problem after problem after problem. You meet all the wrong people and you lose your luggage and the car breaks down and stuff like that. You can really feel and see how are you doing on the inside based on what's happening on the outside. And one of my friends asked me when I was on this trip, he said, "So, well, did you have any issues?" And I said, "No, I never have issues. I just know that when I'm on a solo trip, everything that happens serves my highest good. And most of the time, I don't really have any issues. And even if I do, it's only because there is a better scenario available to me right now. And it's a slight redirection of my plans." Also, traveling solo really empowers you to be fully responsible for your life, to be fully responsible for everything that is going on because there is no one to depend on. You need this experience to really get to know yourself, to stop being afraid of who you are, to meet yourself. Maybe you are a totally different person than you think you are. How much longer can you hide from yourself? Isn't that exhausting to put a mask after a mask after a mask to hide, to mold yourself, to sculpt yourself, to be someone else? Even one solo trip builds such a resilience within you. It builds such a calm power of understanding that you are good. You are safe. And let yourself just be in the moment, in the flow. We're so used to creating schedules and running from point A to point B. But have you ever wondered, what if you just let yourself be? What if you just let yourself flow? And what if the strict schedule that you are creating for yourself is actually preventing you from having a more fulfilling and rich experience? What if something so much better could happen to you today if you just let yourself be? If you just let yourself flow, trust your intuition, and follow it? I'll give you a great example from my latest trip to Ibiza. I got invited to this semi-private event in the restaurant in a beach club during the sunset. Guy Gerber, if you know that DJ, he was doing an acoustic guitar set. So he was not actually DJing. He was playing his electric guitar with a few female singers supporting him. And it was in the evening, so not too late. Very beautiful location, right on the water. I was supposed to go with 2 friends of mine, and I was staying on the other side of the island, so it was quite a ride for me to get to the restaurant. And as I'm driving, fully dressed in this red silk dress, full makeup, and just fantastic mood, my friends are telling me that they have a shit show with their house and they're moving to a different place, so they are running late and might not even make it after all. 2 options here. 1, get upset, turn around, go back home. 2nd, just keep driving and go there solo and see what happens. I'll be honest with you. When I realized that they're running late, I immediately knew that there is a reason why today I need to come by myself to that event. How did I know? Because things like that happened many, many times in my life, and there was always something better, something rewarding on the other side of that, which might seem like, crisis situation, like plans breaking down. I show up at the restaurant looking fabulous, and somehow I'm not on a guest list. They couldn't find my name, and I look at the ladies and I'm like, please, why are we even having this conversation? Look at me. You need me. And they're like, yeah, totally. Please come in. The hostess starts walking me through a restaurant trying to find me a table. And she's like, oh, you're by yourself. I'm not sure where to put you. And she keeps walking further and further away from the stage, and I'm realizing that she's just gonna take me to the back corner, and I don't like that. So what happens in that moment when I realize that I don't like what's going on and I want to change that? I immediately hear a Russian speech to my left. I turn around and I see a huge table very close to the stage with 11 Russian-speaking men. No women. Huge table with food and drinks right in front of the stage, and there are 2 chairs empty. It took me half a second to act on the situation that presented itself. I said in Russian, oh, hey guys, I speak Russian too, and I'm by myself. Do you mind if I join you? They looked at me. Reminder, I'm wearing a silk red long dress with open back, looking fabulous. And they're like, sure. So I sit down with them. They start bringing food, champagne. The music starts. It's beautiful. They're fucking shocked, by the way, by the bravery and the fact that I just simply landed at their table. And there was one specific person who was sitting right next to me who was just so triggered by my behavior because it was something that he never thought is possible. Let's call him Mike. So Mike tells me, how the hell did you just create this situation? So you're coming alone, and all of a sudden you're sitting with 11 men at the table with the best view of the musician, and you're just enjoying your life while being naturally hot. I said, listen, Mike, that's what I do. Why not? It was a fantastic night. And by the way, hostess, her face, when she saw what I did, it was priceless. I wish I could have recorded it, but I couldn't because it just happened in the moment. One day I'm going to start wearing GoPro on my head and just record everything that happens in my life. And that's going to be a crazy, interesting reality show. Maybe I should start. But do you think that situation ended there? Of course not. Oh, by the way, my friends were messaging me like, are you okay? How's it going? I'm like, guys, I'm great. Come over. So they arrived 2 hours late. Absolutely loved the group that I was with. All these men, by the way, they were from Berlin, but they are Russian speaking. So they lived their entire life from childhood in Germany, but their parents are Russian. And in the end of it, that group invited us to go to their villa, $20 million villa. Just saying. And I remember that moment when I'm in this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous luxury villa. I'm sitting on the stairs with beautiful lights around me. The music is playing. On the right side, there is one man pouring rosé for me. Right in front of me, there is Mike sitting. Yeah, that Mike that was triggered as shit by my presence in the restaurant. He is sitting right in front of me on his knees, massaging my feet. And I look up at the sky, full of stars, and I say, guys, I knew that Ibiza is a magical place, but I just didn't know that it is that good. And Mike tells me, how the hell did you just create all of this? Look at you. Couple hours ago, you were coming by yourself to the event, and now you're sitting in this beautiful villa, drinking wine, I'm massaging your feet. He says, I fucking hate you, but I'm not gonna stop massaging your feet. And I respond, Mike, why would I live in any other way if I can live like this? You see, any limits that you have in your mind, they will continuously show up in what you experience. If you're telling yourself that this is impossible to have a night like that, it's not going to happen. If you're saying yourself that, oh, you will absolutely have to pay for it in one way or another, yes, ladies, I'm talking about you. You that are thinking that you will have to sleep with a guy, you will have to do something that you don't want to experience that night. That's what's going to happen to you. In my world, that shit doesn't exist. In my world, I'm respected. In my world, my energy is fucking precious and it is highly appreciated. And it's an honor for any man to be in my presence. Even the fact that he is massaging my feet is giving him so much wisdom in the moment. I asked the universe in that moment, how can it get even better? And it did. But that's a story for a different episode. It blows people's minds that I'm able to travel solo. I've heard that from so many people, mostly men. Men get triggered as hell by the fact that a woman is capable of traveling on her own. Where are you getting money? Are you an escort? You know how many times I've heard that question? Sweetheart, if I would be an escort, I would have 10 different mentions in my name all over the world. Please. So why are people so afraid of traveling alone or triggered by someone who actively does it? Here's why. As we were growing up, we were taught that it's not a normal thing to do. A normal thing to do is to travel with someone else. That's a societal standard. But doing that solo is something new, something outside of the box, something that doesn't fit. Let's take it down a notch. How about going to a restaurant by yourself simply because you want to? I know so many people that are terrified of doing that. What are people going to think about me? They're going to think that I have no friends. They're going to think that no one wants to date me. Who the fuck cares? You want to have the best tuna tartare in the beautiful restaurant for dinner? Fucking go. Why not? You want to go see a movie by yourself? Go to a movie theater and watch a movie by yourself. You want to go to an art exhibition by yourself? Fucking do it. Stop caring how you're going to be seen or perceived. Because when you are thinking of others, you're actually not pursuing your dreams and your desires. And again, we're coming back to a point where you value someone else's opinion of you much more than your true wishes. You see how everything that I talk about, everything in life always comes back to this basic foundational principles where you need to put yourself first, where you need to come back to the real you, because life is supposed to be joyful. There are two options. You're either going to experience joy in every single moment, no matter what's happening, or you're going to suffer. It is simply a choice. And same with solo traveling. Yeah, you can sit there and cry that you have no friends or no one wants to travel with you, or you still haven't met the love of your life. So that's why you're just sitting at home and waiting for the perfect day when it finally happens and you go to Paris. Fuck no. Pack your bags, go now. You might die tomorrow. Who knows? What are you waiting for? No, seriously, what are you waiting for? If you are brave enough to dive into that experience, it's going to expand your consciousness tremendously. Again, in a way that you cannot receive so fast through therapy or any other tools that are there. Do it. Go and see, do you like what's happening to you on your trip? Do you like the people that come your way? Do you like those random people which are not random? Because if you meet someone and you connect with someone, this is not random. It was meant to be. You were meant to cross paths at that exact point in both of your lives, to teach each other, to exchange, to share. And ask yourself, do you like the people that you meet? Because they are a direct reflection of who you are. And maybe the parts of yourself that you're still running away from. Parts of yourself that are trying to speak to you so loud, but you just keep ignoring them. The parts of yourself that crave for your love and acceptance. That's why I call solo trips truly a ceremony, a spiritual initiation. And this trip was Uranus Mercury in retrograde, which is always a very, very interesting time when we are revisiting lessons from the past, when unfinished business comes up and you close out karmic contracts and stuff like that. When delays happen, it tests your patience. How are you going to react? Are you going to keep your inner balance no matter what because you're so stable as an entity by yourself? Or will you crash? And after each ceremony comes an integration. After each trip comes an integration. For me, those experiences are mind-blowing. They're expanding me in the ways that I never imagined before. And every time I come back as a new person. As a new version of me that wasn't there a month ago. A new version that has an expanded view of the world and the way things work. A version of me that has an expanded awareness of myself, We are in the corridor of eclipses right now, which is a very fated time when you are getting realigned with your destiny, when you're getting realigned with your path. And if you stepped away from your path, you will be brought back on by circumstances and events that are out of your control. Surrender. There is no control. Listen to your intuition. Time to trust yourself. In the past 2 months, the world has changed a lot. I don't know if you noticed or not, but it's no longer linear. The way we act and the way we experience life is no longer linear. But more about that in the next episode. I love you. Like, subscribe, comment, send to your friends, send me your love. May you be blessed, may you be brave, and may you finally take a chance on yourself and go travel solo. Until the next time.